Week 5 of the high school football season is getting going tonight. Here with Davis and Rick Cantu, we're going to preview some of the biggest games in the Central Texas area this week, and we're going to start it off with tonight's game. Hendrickson at Stony Point at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. Hendrickson coming in 5-0, Stony Point 4-1. Danny, we'll start with you. What do you look for in this game?
I think this is going to be a fun matchup of strength versus strength. Stony Point, they've been able to pass the ball a little bit this year. Justin Gamble, an all Centex preseason pick at wide receiver. Jeremy Carr, a senior wide receiver. Between them, they have about 75 catches, 10 touchdowns. But Hendrickson, that secondary, they haven't allowed 500 passing yards for the entire season over 5 games. Chance Waz, their Colorado-bound safety. Trey Mosley, Nebraska-bound cornerback. It's going to be strength on strength, and that's going to be a fun matchup to watch, but I'm going to go with Hendrickson. They're undefeated for a reason.
All right, and Rick?
They're definitely undefeated for a reason, and one of it is just overall domination. They allow an average of 3 points a game in the first half, which means most of the points that are scored against them are in garbage time. Samaje Pirine is averaging 11 yards a carry, and the X factor, and literally the X factor, Xavier Conley, the quarterback, he's actually completing 73% of his passes this year. So they've got it on both sides of the ball. They are the class of the district, and I see them winning this one easily.
All right, moving right along. Tomorrow night, the biggest game on the slate, maybe one of the biggest games of the year in the Central Texas area, is Bowie at Lake Travis at 7:30. Rick, we'll stay with you. What do you look for in this one?
First of all, I saw Bowie the other day beat Westlake, and they're an awfully good team, and awfully good coach. Jeff Abel's been there a long time, but Lake Travis, they seem like they're getting things in stride now. Their defense has been strong. They've won their last 2 games by an average of 38 points. Bowie, they're 5-0, but they've had some close calls. I don't see them going 6-0.
All right, Danny?
I'm going with Bowie. I've said his name a million times. I feel like you might think I'm stalking him, but Austin Eschenberg, their quarterback, 16 touchdowns this year, 10 through the air. I really like the way he's been playing so far. I think a fun matchup as far as things to look out for. It was going to be Sean Nixon, the great Lake Travis running back, against Steve Johnson, who's a wide receiver running back on Bowie. Both explosive players. It's going to be fun to see how many times they get in the end zone, but I think Bowie's going to win this one.
Well, we're going to stay with you, Denny. In 25-4, you have Leander, a team that before the season started, a lot of people thought they were a contender. 2-3 early on in the season. They play Rouse. What do you look for in this one?
We go with Rouse, Billy Ray McCrary, one of the most dynamic players in the area. A lot of fun players to watch in this area. But Wesley Geisler, he's a wonder wide receiver. He has 200-yard games this year, including one last week, and they're winning over Dripping Springs. He's actually their backup quarterback. So if Billy Ray needs some rest, you might see my quarterback too. But a couple dynamic players in the offense. I know Leander looked really good last week against Cedar Park, but I'm gonna go with Rouse in this one.
Rick?
You got to give Leander some credit for holding Cedar Park down the way they did. I thought Cedar Park was going to win that game easily. But Brandon Hopp has turned into one of the better quarterbacks in the area. He's got 8 touchdowns, only 2 picks for Leander. With that said, I think that Rouse is a stronger team. Billy Ray McCrary does it with his arm, does it with his legs. It's going to be a close game, but Rouse, I got them on top.
All right, and our final game on the slate, maybe the most lopsided. We have 4-0 Travis, 0-4 Crockett. Rick, what do you look for in this one?
Well, I see Travis. They've got a terrific trio. They've got Jonathan Caldwell, their quarterback. He's got 14 TDs. Eric Strait, 633 yards, 11 touchdowns. Johnny Williams, wide receiver, sure-handed, 453 yards. He's got 6 or 8 touchdowns. Travis, they haven't played a lot of good teams early, but neither has Crockett. But in this neighborhood rivalry, I like the Rebels.
Danny?
I like the Rebels too. I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as we think. This was a 7-point game last year, and I know teams change and people graduate and all that, but both defenses are struggling. Travis is giving up 24 points a game. Crockett's giving up a little bit more than 35, so I expect there to be a lot of scoring. Crockett has Justin Miller, a pretty good running back. Trayvon Lewis, a good wide receiver, but as Rick talked about, the triplets on Travis, they are pretty good. So I think Travis wins this one, but I think it's going to be close. Not as crazy, not a 91-15 game like we saw last week with Connolly.
Well, should be another great slate of games around the area, starting tonight with Hendrickson at Stony Point and into tomorrow, Bowie at Lake Travis. 2 great games. I'm sure there's going to be some other games around the area that jump out at the end of the weekend. But check back at statesman.com on Friday night and Saturday. Rick and Danny will have all the coverage from around the area. We'll see you. Bye.